It is day 10 of the 75 Hard Challenge. Let's go. Hey there. So it's been more than 2 days because yesterday we went to Tulsa and it's 4 hours one way to Tulsa and 4 hours back. And then we spend about 4 hours there. So that is a long day. And if I ever thought I couldn't do hard things, that is definitely an example of the hard things that we do so that we can see our granddaughter. So today I want to talk, before I do that, I want to tell you though, before we left at 6 o'clock. I got up and I did my workout outside because I just couldn't imagine after all that time having to do the long workout. I mean, like the outside workout after I'd been sitting in the car and everything. And I didn't want it to be too hard, like a workout, step workout. And so I did an aerobic workout with Gina B at 4:45 in the morning with a shower cap on, watching in the dark, watching the lightning all around me. And I got old rain, the rain that has already been on the trees. I got that at the beginning. It never started raining until I got finished. This road is really, my trail is really muddy today. Anyway, I feel like it's been raining here for weeks. And so I'm trying to get in between the next shower that's coming or the next storm that's coming. We're supposed to have storms through Monday. So trying to fix an outside workout in that is difficult. We, of course, took them out to lunch when we were there. And I said, pick a restaurant. There's usually a whole bunch of big discussion when we're already there. I said, pick it before we get there so it's not a thing. And they wanted to go for pizza. And I've chosen to do a low-carb, carnivore-ish diet for the 75 hard. So they told me the night before, I immediately look at the menu. They have a Cobb salad. I love Cobb salad. There's not enough meat on it though. So I ordered the Cobb salad and I had them put hamburger on it because they put hamburgers on their pizzas. And that worked out really well. And I was very happy with it. It was delicious. I was full. I didn't feel robbed. And that was good. I brought my water with me, my gallon bottle of water with me. And we stopped and got an iced tea to go so that I would have a cup to pour it in. And I actually finished all of my water by 4 o'clock. And we're still in the car coming home. So that worked out well. And then when I got home, I bounced for 45 minutes. And it's a gentle bouncing workout. I didn't do it very hard because I was tired, very tired. So, but I got it done. And that's what it's about, right? So now here I am back on my trail. There've been deer in the yard all morning. I don't know if we'll see them on out here. They're scared. But I want to talk today about the reading portion of 75 Hard. And the rules are that you need to read 10 pages of a book. Can't be an audiobook, has to be an actual book. And it needs to be a nonfiction book, a business book, something that helps your personal improvement, books like that, right? So last time I did 75 Hard, the first book I read was Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Have you read it? That book made me want to be a superhero. That guy, he was a fat, donut-eating, overnight bug person. He'd go and treat for bugs overnight. And he got it into his head that he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. And dang if he didn't do it. I'm telling you, if you've not read that book, I cannot recommend it enough. It was so good. And then after I got done with that book, I wanted to still read more about people like that. Because to me, what I'm doing with this, it's self-improvement. Business books are okay. I'm not really in a point in business right now where I feel like I need that though. And I truly enjoyed that David Goggins book. So I found this book called Becoming Odyssa by Pharr Davis, and she thru-hikes the Appalachian Trail. When I started this book, or before I got it, I had no idea there was an Appalachian Trail. How I got to be 60 years old without knowing that, I don't know. But like I said, I grew up in the city, so we didn't do hiking and stuff. So it also told me or introduced me to what through hiking is. When through hiking is when you start at the bottom of that trail and you hike 2,000 miles till the end of it. And I'm gonna do that. I got done with that book and I told my husband, I'm like, I'm gonna through hike the Appalachian Trail someday. Yes, I am. Sometime after that, not during 75 hard, but at some point, I learned about Grandma Gatewood. Grandma Gatewood, it was like in 1956. She was like a 67-year-old woman who through hiked the Appalachian Trail, and like she didn't even have any gear. She had Keds on her feet, and she made herself a pouch out of a pair of jeans, and she didn't have a tent or a, sleeping bag or anything like that. And she just told her she was abused in her marriage, and so she just told her kids, she's like, I'm going out for a walk. And she hiked the Appalachian Trail. Oh my gosh. That's when I told my husband, I'm like, if she can do it, we can do it. Because I really want to go with him. Like the thing about hiking that I love the most is the beauty, the absolute incredible beauty God has gifted us with out there in the middle of nowhere. And like, what good is it if you can't share it with someone, right? I mean, I'm glad I take videos of it because then I can share it with all y'all, but like in the moment, who am I going to get to share it with? I want it to be him. So anyway, I'm telling him we're hiking the Appalachian Trail. Fast forward again to like last July, we went on a road trip to Idaho, and we were on our way home, and we passed the Continental Divide Trail. No, Continental Divide sign. And it's been a minute since we've been in school. So I go into my phone and I look up the Continental Divide to make sure I remember what it's about, right? And it was at that point, somewhere on a highway in Wyoming. No, were we in Iowa? We were Idaho. We were someplace. I learned about the Continental Divide Trail. So my husband is not a fan of the Northeast, and I looked at the states that it goes through. It goes from Montana, Wyoming, a little bit of Idaho, Colorado, and New Mexico. Did I get them all? I think I did. And he likes all those states. Like, David, we are going to through hike the Continental Divide Trail. And it's so weird that 75 hard is what started my desire to through hike a long trail. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Awesome. After reading Becoming Odyssa, my third book was Eat and Run by Scott Jurek. And that introduced me to the sport of ultramarathoning. I was like, maybe I need to do that. Like back in the day, I used to run all the time. My longest race was a half marathon. And the idea of doing something that cool, 100 miles, right? Whoa, I could do that, right? And so that was another book that got me all fired up. It's like, oh, here's something I could do in my life. Because this is my claim to fame. There was this run I used to run on Chicago Avenue in Chicago. I was a member of the Chicago Area Runners Club, and they had this race called Chicago Avenue on the Run, and it was every Mother's Day. So the last year that I ran it before we moved, there was an old lady getting to the end of the race, and there was an old lady in front of me, and I thought, I can catch her. She's old. And I went through the chute right after her. The next morning, that lady was on the front page of the Chicago newspaper. And she was an 86-year-old mother, grandmother, great-grandmother. This is my claim to fame. I came in after her. Oh, and it makes me laugh every time I think about that story. But it kind of made me think that, like, I'm not a runner. I'm big. I'm 5'11", and I'm sturdy. And, like, when I was in the Marine Corps, my sergeant major would be all like, I can't believe you even run. Like, because I'm just big. And, but I love to run. And so I always thought that my best days were going to be when I'm like 86, like that woman, you know, I mean, probably the only one in my age division, and I'll win it. So that's a funny thing, but ultra running definitely made it onto my radar. So before I tell you the last book I read during the first time of 75 Hard, I want to express to you my absolute love of reading. When I learned how to read in first grade, she put me in the advanced reading group and we could read all the things. Then I remember being in second grade and my teacher sending me out of class so I could get something from the library because I was ahead of the other kids. And I read stuff. I read my dad's book by Joe Namath. I can't wait until tomorrow because I get better looking every day. And off my mother's bookshelf, Valley of the Dolls, when I was like 10. That is not material for a 10-year-old. Anyway, I was desperate to read. I love to read. And now even, I always have usually 2 books going, sometimes more, because life is short. There's a lot of books. Also, I don't like to finish books that I don't like because life is too short and there's so many books. So the last book I read was called Ask by Mark Victor Hansen. And I didn't like that book. It didn't speak to me. I didn't like it. It was so hard. And I thought, when I looked at the rules of 75 Hard, I thought, oh, the reading section's going to be a snap, right? It was the hardest thing, finishing that book. Because if you start a book, you need to finish it. And I didn't like that book. But I finished it because we can do hard things, right? So be uber careful and picky this time of which books I'm going to read so I don't get stuck in that predicament again this time. So when I started this challenge this time, I was already in a book called Old Lady on the Trail by Mary Davison. And I love it. She's a triple crown hiker, which means she's hiked all 3 of the long trails, the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, and the Pacific Crest Trail. Now, she did it as a section hiker, but she did it. And to read her account of it is very motivating to me. It's like she's 76 when she triple crowned. And I'm like 12 years younger than that, right? So she's motivating to me. So I started with that book and I will be finished with it tomorrow. I have exactly 10 pages left to read tomorrow. After that, I have a book called Forever Strong by Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. Because at this age and going forward, being strong, having muscles, it's non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. So I'm really interested in that book. My biggest fear is that I took it out of the library. My biggest fear is that I'll have to turn it back in for somebody else and I won't get it back. And I'm not sure really exactly how to do that with 75 Hard, but hopefully that's not the case and hopefully I can read through it. And then after that, I will read David Goggins' other book called Never Finished, because what is 75 Hard without a David Goggins book, right? Have you ever seen that guy? You should check him out if you don't know who he is. Man, he's obsessed. He is driven. He is extremely motivating. And yeah, I want to read that book for sure. So that's next on the list. I'll probably have to read another one, but I'm not sure what it's going to be at this point. I'll get through those and then I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Those books sound good to me. These books that I've all just mentioned, now some of them I haven't finished yet, but the ones I have, they didn't just help me finish 75 Hard. They like totally shaped my life. I mean, I had things I didn't know before and things I want to do. And wow, I'm 64, but hey, I'm just getting started. So if you think that you want to do this, I encourage you to. I mean, obviously, you know, we've talked about the scalability and we've talked about starting small, but I just think there's no reason why you can't do it if you're ready for it. And I would love to be the person there cheering you on, because cheerleading is my best event. So I would love it if you would come along with me and if you would like my video and subscribe to my channel. And then tell me in the comments, like, what are you doing? What do I need to help you be encouraged for? Because I swear that's what I'm on this earth for. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.